The upcoming slides offer you an overview of the Startup Pyramid framework. This is a framework that I've created based on my own experience, but also based on so many of the conversations that I've heard. I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years myself, working on different businesses, and I've also been mentoring for years and also sat into hundreds of peer groups where entrepreneurs would bring up their biggest challenges. And two things that I keep on seeing quite often. Key steps were missing was the first one. People didn't know what they didn't know, so they put their best effort into working on their business, but unfortunately, they were skipping some steps that were really crucial for them to be able to move ahead well. And the second part is that they put a whole lot of effort onto the wrong things. And there is an order that makes sense when you are starting a business, but unfortunately, most people did not know what this order is. If you were to build a house, you would know that you might need a foundation. On top of this, you need to build up a structure and then finally attach the walls to the structure. But entrepreneurship is not as straightforward. So what tends to happen in business is that we gravitate towards working on what we feel most comfortable with or what seems the least daunting. And unfortunately, that means that we end up wasting time by working on the wrong things. And even worse, it often means that the business that is being built is not going to be a successful one. So what I'm hoping that this framework does for you is that it both helps you move faster and smarter by having labeled clear steps for you to move ahead with. And ultimately, that it helps you build a business that has the best chances at being successful. Most people think of entrepreneurship as a two-step process. First, you need to build something, and then you need to go out there and sell it. And I would say that it's actually not about building. Instead, it's all about solving. And solving might give you a hint that we are missing a prior step to this. And that step is finding a problem. You need to start by finding a problem, making sure that you end up building something that people actually want. Because so often what I see is that people build and sell, but unfortunately they're trying to sell something that no one cares about. No one wants it in the first place. If you are able to have a really solid foundation to your pyramid, and this is, by the way, the most important step, then building it or solving it and selling it will be significantly easier for you. So starting at the very bottom then, of finding a problem, you need to confirm this step because this becomes the foundation of your whole pyramid. If this is not solid, everything else is going to crumble on top. The way to make this solid is by validating it. You validate this, and only when you have done this, then does it make sense to move to the solving part. When you are solving, you are trying to design what your solution is going to look like. What features should it have? What feel is it going to have? How much is it going to cost? All of these things are also things that you can go validate out there with your clients. And then finally, once that part is validated, you will move on to validating how to sell it to them. What are your clients most receptive to in terms of being sold to? What works best with them? And this step-by-step process from the bottom up allows you to find a true match in terms of what people want and to get an incredible blueprint and then to be able to scale. But it doesn't make sense to build something really big and to want to scale until you have gone through this process. Because the one thing to understand is that as an early stage entrepreneur, as an early stage business, your biggest job, again, is not to build, but it's to find the right match, to find something that people will love. And this is what the Startup Pyramid helps you do. The Startup Pyramid breaks into many more detailed steps, and we will look at each one of these sections in the upcoming videos. But in a nutshell, the reason why I want to really stress the importance of the Startup Pyramid are these. It will offer you significantly clear steps on what to work on when. The other part is that it removes a lot of the guessing. So significantly more certainty because you have validated all of these things. Most businesses that I see starting now, unfortunately, it feels like they're playing the lottery when they're starting. They're grabbing on, holding tight to their numbers in the hopes of winning. But if they do win, they don't really know why, and it's just out of luck. And I promise you, there's a significantly better way of going about building a business, and this is what it is. The other part is that all of this is incredibly cheap and fast. All the steps that we're going to go through in the startup pyramid are things that you can definitely do on your own budget. But also, the fastest and cheapest thing is to build the right business instead of guessing and building the wrong thing. Just imagine how much time and money and energy is wasted by building the wrong things, which is what I see happen so often. And then finally, it will significantly increase your chances of success.